Welcome to Hometown Cooking with Marianne. Welcome back. Today we are making my spaghetti sauce. I am going to try to get about 7 quarts out of it so that I can can it. Okay, things you're going to need. I go with the canned goods. And there's no GMO. Watch out they don't have that lining in here. Okay, I have 4 cans, and they are 29 ounces of the pureed tomatoes, and then I have 1 can of the 28-ounce plum tomatoes. They're going to get cut up. That's just for some substance, but I don't like all the seeds and everything, so I don't buy the other stuff, and I don't like putting mine in. We got some pepper, basil. I have 4 good-sized cloves of garlic. I have a big onion, little one, Italian seasoning, bay leaves, basil, and I'm going to put some sugar in it. Now, what I like to do is I like to make it rich. I like to put in some meat. So right now I'm going to use I'm going to put my pan on, about medium-high. Olive oil, I'm going to pour some of that in here. And I would say about 3 good tablespoons of olive oil. And what I have here is a shoulder beef meat, and I have Italian sausage from our pork shop. You can use any kind you want. So it's like about, for this amount, I guess this is about a pound and a half of beef, and about a pound of the pork. Let me wash my hands now that I'm playing with that. Okay, I'll have to get some tongs. Okay, now I got the oil warming up. I am going to brown my beef in there, no seasoning. As soon as it gets warm. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut up the onion while we're waiting, and I just rough cut it. I don't even go crazy with it because a lot of it melts away when you're finished. So you cut it in half, flat side down. Make 1 cut, 2, and then we're going to cut down. Okay, then we're going to cut just rough cuts. Doesn't have to be a biggie. Cut across. Okay, that's 1/2. Now I got the other one. Bring it close. Put your hand on top so you don't. Fingers curl under. Get to the edge and just chop it. And they're going to make me cry. Now here's a little one. I'm just going to chop down. Cut down here. And I peeled them, of course. Give it a little chop. That might be enough. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a really big pot. And you need water. And my eyes are burning. Okay. Now, let's see how the oil's doing. Okay, I'm going to put my beef in here. You can hear the sizzle. Okay, let that brown. And I'm going to measure as I put it in because I don't know exactly how much I'm going to use. With the sugar you use because it's a little bitter. Tomatoes are bitter. And you need to sweeten it up a little bit. And that's the taste too. But I would advise that you don't taste. If you put meat in it, you don't have to, but I like to. So it makes it more rich. If you're putting meat in there like I am, don't taste it until it's been cooking for at least an hour, because you're going to have raw sausage in there and you don't want to get sick. I would cook it about an hour, hour and a half, and then taste it for sugar if you need it, which you probably will need like about, for this size, good quarter cup or so. And I use bottled water. Turn it down a little bit. Flip it over. No, not ready. Meat will give when it's ready to flip over. So, okay. Well, I have my Italian seasoning. I'm probably going to put a good half cup in here. I'm going to go buy more. I'm lowering it. We use a lot of it. Okay. And this recipe is my mother-in-law's request. It's going to be I know I'm going to get at least a half cup. I normally do not use dry herbs in this. Herbs. I'm going to put in, wow, they're not open. Probably have something somewhere else and don't know it. 2 good sized bay leaves. Let's go in here. That's going to look like recyclable. I have some basil. I'll see if I'm going to put that in. Pepper, and sugar, and then garlic. And I'm going to use garlic cloves, but they're not going in yet. You don't want to burn them. Okay. Now, you see how brown that is on that side. Be right back. Let me get a splatter guard. They were on sale for it was like, gosh, about $4 a pound. They're expensive. So I just get a little one. If you want to put a bow in, it's fine. I put in Italian seasoning. You can use pork ribs too. Anything pork product. The only problem I have with using any pork product, like a rib or something, is splinters. So I did it one time and I had to strain the sauce really. So stick with boneless pork or the sausage. I like the sausage. And you can put hot sausage in there too if you want a little bite. As a matter of fact, my spicy chili powder, there they are. Now, brown crust. I'm going to put some pepper flakes in it. Okay, now, that's brown on both sides. That's just to give it more flavor. Okay, that's about good. Now you have little bits on the bottom. What I'm going to do is make more noise, and I'm going to put my onion in it. And I'm going to chop it up a little better. Okay, now these are just going to make a lot of noise. It's going right in. And that was a large onion and half of a small onion, and they're sweet. And they're going to almost disappear. Oh my God, does that smell good? I love that smell. Okay, now, wooden spoon, give it a stir, bring it down to medium, which is a 5 on mine. It's a little dry, so we're going to put a little more olive oil in here, about a tablespoon and a half. Get the onions going. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I said that, here it is. I have tomato paste I had to open upside down because there was something wrong with the lid. 18 ounces of tomato paste for this amount. So when you're doing about 5 big cans of puree sauce or tomatoes, you're going to need a big one. And this is pretty much what makes it a little bitter, I think. Okay. Now what we're going to do, start moving along, is we're going to put the paste in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook it a little bit. And when you cook it, it brings it out and makes it hopefully a little more sweeter. You still need the sugar, it doesn't make it completely. So I'm putting a whole can in. Looks like a lot, but I'm going to have this pan almost filled up. Alright, now we're going to scrape out what we can. I'm not putting in water yet, but I'm saving the can because I'm going to use the water to rinse. Stir it around, mix it in with the onions. There we go. And I don't need this anymore. Quiet it down nice. Okay. Let it cook up a little bit. Now I've got the 4 garlic cloves. I don't like to put garlic chopped up because when I'm finished, what doesn't disintegrate in this sauce, I just jar and we take out later. Let me cut the end off. I'm going to put water in here. Fill it up 3/4 of the way. Squish it around. And I wash these cans off. I always do. So that, okay. Pour it right in. Give it a good stir. I'm going to bring it down. Scrape off all that goodness on the bottom. You have, get that all off. It's just like when you're making a gravy, and they do call this a gravy because it has meat in there. Marinara would be thicker. Actually, this consistency would be marinara. Sauce is just without the meat, so they usually call this a gravy because it has meat in it. Okay, now we're going to put in our puree cans, and don't throw them out yet. We're going to rinse them out with water, and that's where you get the thinness of the sauce. 2. Then I'm going to cut up my tomatoes. I cut them up before I put them in. Let it stir. And you see how thick that is. You don't want that. That's why we're going to dilute. I'm going to dilute it. I always use the... I fill up 3/4 of the way. Every one of them. Have water like that, so it's 3/4 or 2/3, whichever. You can always add extra water if it's too thick for your taste. Okay, a little bit more. Now you don't want to waste anything, so
Why is that one can not being used?
I have got my whole tomatoes. They have to be cut up. I just told everybody. You're not paying attention. Stir it around, get the extra sauce out. This one, and I'll put that in the sink because we have to recycle them and wash them out real good. Two. And I'm going to pressure cook this because I like the way the consistency is versus the water bath. You can water bath sauce because I'm not going to leave the meat in there. Actually, you can if you want. What I'll do is I'll take some out for supper and let's turn it up a little. Take some out with the supper and we'll use the meats for supper. Okay, right now it looks just like tomato soup. Okay, now at this point, we're going to put it up to 6. You don't want to burn it, and yeah, you can still burn it at this point. I'm going to put my garlic in, just like that. I cut the end off, and put it in. And if it melts, it melts. If it breaks up, that's fine too. But nobody really likes to bite into a big thing of garlic. Okay, why not? Okay, now. Grab a bowl. Teddy, don't you dare. There comes my cat. Now here come the tomatoes. I'm going to cut them up. I like to take the hard end off. Cut it in half. Cut it in half. And like I said, I'm not crazy about the seeds. I just want the texture. And I want the juice from this. Get the hard end off. And you just give it a rough cut. You don't have to go nuts with it. Throw it in. I don't know if anybody looked, but Facebook, I had a blooper of my cat jumping up before I got ready to record. That was good. Poor little guy. Chop. These will cook down also. Okay. Alright. Squeaky feet. See how many do we have? We have 3 more. 2 nice ones and a little wiener one. Tiny, tiny. Okay. I'm going to put this in through the sieve so that I don't get any seeds into it. I'll just clean it up when we take a break. And put a little more water in here. And I filled this one up 3/4 of the way. I mean 2/4. Yeah, 3/4. Down there. Okay. Oh, here's a piece. And you try to get it all out. See all the seeds? I don't like it in mine. Plus, if you have stomach problems, you shouldn't be eating seeds. It's not good for you. Almost 1/2 cup of Italian seasoning, 2 bay leaves. That's going in. Stir it up. And that should be plenty. I can see it right now. I probably won't need any more. This will cook down, get thick. If it doesn't suit you, if it's not thick enough for you, you can always add more paste. But I am going to cook this for a good 3 hours. Okay, now I've got that in there. We're going to put about a teaspoon of pepper. And let's see. Where's my little one? My quarter cup. Even though we have garlic, I'm still putting powder in it. I would say about, to start, I've got like about half of an eighth of a cup. So it looks like it's about 2 tablespoons. Crushed red peppers to taste. I don't put many. About a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon. If I find later it's not good enough, I'll put more. Half a teaspoon of basil, because you also have a little bit in the mix. Now the sugar weights, and I think I got it all in there. Okay, yep, we got it in there. Now we're going to put the meat in, stir it up real good. Because I don't cover my sauce either. I like to keep an eye on it. Okay, we have the meat. We have the beef. Any dripping, make sure it goes in. And my Italian sausage. That's about a pound. And that goes in. Alrighty. Consistency that we have now, and it will cook. Now what I want you to do is let it cook for, I would say maybe about 2 hours. Give it 2 hours to cook down so that you get a good taste of it in 2 hours, and that should be enough for your meat to cook. Don't taste it ahead of time. Keep everybody away from the pot because you have raw sausage in here and raw meat. In 2 hours we'll come back and we'll taste it and we'll see what kind of sugar it needs. And I've got a nice big mess to clean up, so we'll be back. Okay, welcome back to my kitchen. It's been cooking for 2.5 hours. Took a break for supper. And I'm going to taste it and see if it needs anything. Very, very hot. Yeah, okay. I need some sugar. Let's say a good tablespoon of it. Let's try that. Now it's going to take on the taste of whatever you have, the meat you have in here. So I know I have a different kind of sausage, and it's cooked right through. It's very tender, and the meat is cooked through. And we're going to cook it for another, like I said, half hour to 45 minutes. I'm going to put mushrooms in here. That'll give it time to cook down. I have about 5 mushrooms. Various sizes. If you want, you don't have to, but it's going to cook for another 45 minutes, so you may as well. And we're going to pressure cook it. If you're not going to pressure cook it, you don't put the mushrooms in. If you're going to do it with the boiling water process, don't put them in because you have to pressure cook it once you put the mushrooms in. Okay. I'm going to give it another taste. Get another spoon. See what's neat. I think it's good. one more thing of sugar, and that should be it. Okay, that should do it. We're gonna have this tomorrow. That's good. Perfect. So we have like about 2 tablespoons roughly of sugar added to this and the mushrooms. Okay. We'll be back in about anywhere from a half hour to 45 minutes until the mushrooms cook down, and then I'm going to be canning this. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, welcome back to Hometown Cooking with Marianne, and our sauce is finished. I'm going to fish out the meat, which is completely cooked. I'm going to take this out. If you want to cut it up or something, you're going to have to cook the sauce longer. But I'm taking this out. This is going to be tomorrow's supper. Let's see. And the beef. And I'm going to put some sauce in here. And I'll boil up some spaghetti tomorrow, or some kind of macaroni. Get a couple mushrooms. Okay. That should be enough. One more. Okay. Alright, now, I'm going to put that aside. If I find any more meat, I'll just put it back in the container. Okay, we're ready to jar. I have my jars down. Excuse me. In my oven. I washed them hot soapy water, rinsed them real well, put them in the oven at 210, 215. You don't need to do that to sterilize when you're doing the pressure cooking, but at least it'll stay hot and you won't chance anything cracking. And I did check the what is that, agricultural site, and because I have mushrooms in here, and I don't have to cook them any longer than 25 minutes, and I don't have to can them any longer. If you have pints, it's 20 minutes to can at whatever pressure you need. I need 15. If you use the quarts that I have, which are very hot, it is 25 minutes. If you put meat in your sauce, it would be 90 minutes and 70 for the 90 for the pint quarts and 70 for the pints. Okay. All right. We have a little vinegar. We have our paper towels to dip in the vinegar, and we're going to get ready to dish it out. I'm going to put this close, and bay leaf comes out. I was hoping I was going to get that in my, that's good. Okay, let me just fill them up. I see some garlic in here. When I open it up to, when we're going to have it to eat, we can pick them right out. You can take them out now or you can take them out later. It does not matter. Okay. This is a long process. I think I did it for about, what, 3.5 hours. And then it's going to cook for another half hour in the canner. But you have a lot of meals. It has to be an inch space at the bottom ring. We'll fill these up, I'll wipe them off, and then we'll put them in. Mushrooms cook down, and they'll even cook more. Here's the other bay leaf. Okay. Put one in the middle. I might be able to get 2 more in here. And that's my limit. Don't want them clanking, so leave a little space between them. Okay. See, make sure you can see a little bit of water between all of them. Okay. All right, the last one. Let's try to scooch it over. It's hot. Good. Next one. And I have the paper towels down just to catch this mess. When we get to that meat, I'll have to take it out. might have to wash up another jar. Got plenty here. Just have to see what I can fit in there. And reach to the bottom of those pans so you get some of the good stuff out, the onions and the tomatoes and mushrooms. Mushrooms are kind of floating around. And there's that meat. And it cannot go in there. It's going up for tomorrow's dinner. There we go. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear my neighbors working on their house. Okay, let me see one more. We'll get these in the canner. Okay, other. And feel around. Okay, we're good. Make sure you get it off the top. Okay, we have 1, 2, and 3. All right. Get it tight. We would get 2, 4, 6, 7, about 8 quarts out. Scraping the bottom, it's getting there. And that's 8 meals. That's it. We just have a little bit left, which will go into tomorrow's supper. You feel around and wipe. Okay. All right. And the lid. And the little one. And we got it going. Okay. That's it. Now we're going to put this in. Carefully, because I'm very tight right here. Make sure the water isn't over it. This is just perfect. It looks fine. Let me make sure. Yeah, we got a little bit touching. You got to remember you're going to have a lot of pressure in here, so you don't want them clanking. Alright, now, got my lid. Line it up with the arrow. First you have to look through that little peephole here, the air hole. Make sure you can see light through it. Make sure this pops up, or if you have like a little button, make sure it's going to come up. Make sure that's in tight. That's the emergency vent, I call it. The arrows line up, and it fits perfect. You turn it till it locks. Turn it all the way up. And I have 15 pounds of pressure because I'm up in the mountains. That's 5. This is 10. And then that's 15. Now, we're going to bring it up. And I'll come back when we see the steam coming out of the little steam hole. Okay, now you can see how the steam's coming out. And we're going to set our timer for 10 minutes. And then it'll bring all the pressure up. This little button should be popped out within about 10 minutes because it's starting to go now. And then we put the weight on. So we'll be right back. Okay, now we're in full boil here. Got 43 seconds left. You can see all that steam coming up. And you can see the little button that popped up here. And that water is okay. I didn't have the water up over the jars, but I had it up pretty high. So it's going to be spitting some of it out of it. It's all wet up here. Okay, got a couple more seconds. And show you what we do next. I take my tongs and I take my weight so that I don't burn myself. Okay, you put it on top. Now we're going to have to wait until it starts jiggling before we can regulate it.
How many pounds is the weight?
I already did that. Okay. I just don't want it on the bottom wet. So now it's bringing up the pressure, and as soon as it starts jiggling, I'll bring you back to see it. Okay, it took about 5 minutes, but my weight is dancing. It's up on high. I'm going to let it go for a minute or so and get a good roar out of it, and then I'm going to turn it down like a click, and just so it doesn't stop doing this. Well, it's never going to do it. Okay, there it goes. We're going to bring it down to 8. Wait a minute. 8. And then I usually can get it down to 7. Because you don't want it boiling too hard, or it could crack the jars. It's not necessary. There you go. It's going. Going down to 7. As long as you see that jiggling. We're going to put the timer on to 25 minutes. Now these are quarts. If you have pints, it's only 20 minutes. Unless you have meat in your sauce, and then you're looking at 90 for quarts and 70 for pints. So we're going to go for 25 minutes. Yep. As long as that's jiggling, you're good. If it comes to a complete stop, you got to start all over again with the counting, with the timing. So we'll be back in about 25 minutes, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, we're back, and stop dancing. Now, Sarah, no more steam coming out. And a little button went down, so we know it's good. Okay, now all you have to do is, it's hot. Not that hot though. I'm going to twist it open. There's no more pressure, so it's okay. And beware of that steam. And let it sit for another 10 minutes. Okay, then we'll be right back. Okay, I just heard one of them pop. It's a good sound. Alright, now this is very hot. Open it away from you. Still hot. Okay. Alright, so what I like to do is get a cookie sheet and put a towel, double thickness. If you don't have a thick one, you get two of them. You don't want it touching anything cold, and the metal's cold. Okay, good. Use these. Grab onto them. Don't tilt. If you have any water on them, which you usually don't with this, carefully bring them over. You can hear them popping already. That's music to my ears. Okay. You see that? Isn't beautiful? Like I said, you could use it for anything. You can use it for pasta. You can use it for pizza. You can use it for anything. Lasagna. You could use it for cabbage rolls. And I've got plenty here. Let's see if I can get it all together. I want them to cool down. Yeah, I think I'm good. Okay. Be gentle. You don't want to disturb. I think this one is loose. I think I can hear that. Yeah. They will loosen sometimes. It's no big deal. Take it gently. Make sure they're tight. There you go. A couple of them got loose, and then they'll pop. They sink down, and you're good to go. Okay, I hope you like this video. I hope you try it. And it's very tasty. We're gonna have, like I said, we're gonna have it tomorrow. This cooled down, so we're gonna have spaghetti and the meat that went with it and some sauce. So if you like this video, hit the like button and share and subscribe. And I hope you do come back and visit me again, and we'll see what we have cooking. Okay, so I'll see you later. I'm sending prayers for good health and for happiness. And take care. Bye-bye. Love you.